What is up, everybody? It is APT here, and today I'm going to just be, relaxing, doing a quick little review. Welcome to my new series, History with APT. So, basically, guys, what I'm going to be talking about here is I'm going to be going over some aircraft, some tanks, some ships, probably World of Warships, but that's besides the point. We are here on War Thunder, and we are looking at the P-40E Kitty Hawk, if you're British, or Warhawk, if you're American. Now, this aircraft, which was an all-metal fighter, a single seat, American single engine. As far as I'm concerned, it first flew in 1938. Basically, it was an early design, but I mean, this thing reached all corners of the globe. I believe New Zealand bought a few of these. Australia had some, Britain had some. It was a widely used aircraft, and personally, it's a very good aircraft considering the fact it has 60 M2 Browning machine guns, 50 cal. As far as armor goes, I mean, it has decent armor in steel plating, 38mm bulletproof glass up here, and then a 8mm steel sheet on the back. But I mean, all in all, it's a good fighter. I mean, I'm gladly able to take this thing out over, like, say, the Airacobra. But that's besides the point. This one's projected over at my boy Itzgreenfire. I'll leave a link down to his channel below because he says it flies like a bathtub. But that's besides the point. Let's continue. No, I'm getting sidetracked. Let us continue with the history lesson. All right. So, I'm going to test flight this in a few seconds, by the way. So, here we go. Max speed, 350 miles per hour. Not bad. It was first introduced, and the first flight of it was 14th of October, 1938. Manufacturer, Curtiss Wright Corporation. And forgive me, guys, if I'm saying any of this information wrong. Please feel free to tell me down in the comment section if I'm not saying the right stuff. Again, this is what I know of so far. It's what my sources are telling me. And as far as I know, the countries that have operated this, again, like I said, with the United States Army Air Corps, Royal Air Force, Australian, as well as the New Zealand, but I believe Canada may have bought a few of these, because you have to remember, at the time, Britain was cut off. After the battle that happened at Dunkirk and such, they left a lot of their equipment in France when they had to leave, so Britain was in short supply. And all the countries and all the other states of the Commonwealth of Britain, such as Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and places like that, had no way to defend themselves. They weren't just going to sit there and rely to British. I mean, Australia and New Zealand were terrified because you had Japan coming up. So they got America's help, and they got a few of these Kitty Hawks. And it is a really, really good aircraft. It really is. Wasn't really that expensive to build them. I mean, it was one of those airplanes that just rolls straight off the factory. You can produce a lot of them and push them straight out to the front. But all in all, excuse me, guys, I'm a little sick right now. But all in all, it first saw combat with the British Commonwealth squadrons of the Desert Air Force in the Middle East and North African campaigns during June 1941. Again, they bought a lot of these. The one thing, though, that I do like about this aircraft, which is historically accurate, is you can put shark mouth on it. And that's the cool design about it. I mean, of course, mine doesn't have one, but unfortunately, the P-40 did not have a 2-speed supercharger, so it made it kind of inferior to the Luftwaffe's fighters, such as the Messerschmitt Bf-109 or the Focke-Wulf FW-190, which is a high-altitude combat and was rarely used in operations within Northwest Europe. However, between, I'd say, 1941 and 1944, the P-40 played a critical role with the Allied Air Forces in 3 major theaters. North Africa, which was the British and all that down there fighting, Rommel, the Pacific, which, as you know, had Japan, and China, which was also under Japanese rule. P-40's performance, as far as I'm concerned, this thing was great at mid to low like altitudes, but as soon as it got high, it did not have the same effect. It was not it was more like it wasn't really. I would say it wasn't really. It wasn't exactly a high priority as far as a bomber escort. It wasn't really like that. I mean, definitely it would go after ground targets, which you're about to see as soon as I get into like a test flight real quick, just to demonstrate. And then I'll probably jump into a historical battle or something, also to demonstrate this. So yeah, guys, I will see you guys as soon as we jump right in, and we'll discuss more about the aircraft. Here we go. We are currently in the Kitty Hawk. Let's take a look around. Here's what it looks like this is what it looks like inside the cockpit. Pretty nice, right? Now let us go to third-person view. It's a pretty good-looking aircraft. I mean, of course, the settings I have it on are exactly the best quality, considering the fact that, like, I'm using a laptop. But that doesn't matter anymore. Let us take off with this thing. Throttle at 100. Take off. Now we just wait for this thing to take off. But anyway, guys, let us continue. This thing also saw flight in 1942 by the French forces. It was very common. Let me raise the flaps. Oh, wait, there we go. Let me raise the flaps, bring the gear back. Alright, it was very common, actually, to see, like, Kitty Hawks used by other militaries around the world during World War II. I mean, again, easy to build. I mean, there was only really, as far as I know of, one factory that actually produced these guys, and they produced about, like, 13,000 of them. And it was amazing that way. And it really is a good aircraft, even if Itzgreenfire says it flies like a bathtub. It is a very good aircraft, and I enjoy the quality of it. I mean, again, it doesn't scissors. It's not a. See, this is where it excels: mid to low range dogfighting and such. Let me get into like the bomb. Let me get to the fighter view. Fire off those guns. Target destroyed. All right, let's pull out of here. Just listen to that engine, though. Really is a nice aircraft. Trust me, these things look really cool as long as you have like the shark mouths on them. Like, I currently have the P-51 early Mustang for the Americans, and right now I have a wolf mouth design on that. But you know, that's later. Let us try to land this thing. Let's put down our landing gear. Get our gear down. Get the flaps down. Let me just quickly make a few turns to bleed off speed. There we go. Alright, we should be making it there very shortly. Anyway, onwards. Really, I mean, they didn't stop producing this, but I mean, they definitely needed something to combat the Luftwaffe. Again, the thing with all the nations during World War II was they had aircraft. Absolutely. But the problem is, one, how do you effectively use the air? I mean, of course they needed more aircraft, so what did they do? Wow! A truck. Oh, they needed more aircraft, so what can you do? They went straight to the United States. Which, in another video, I'm going to do a review on the Aerocobra, which really was very unpopular, mainly used by the Soviet Union, part of the Lend-Lease, because, I mean, the British wouldn't use them. They were awful. Erase those. Get the gear up. Excuse me. Let's go out to sea real quick and then just turn it back and land this thing properly. I mean, a lot of famous, you know what I'm saying, things were done. And you can definitely see on the wings of the plane how you see the SAR and everything. It was a very good aircraft. Very nice. Turn wasn't the best. I mean, these were the planes that fought at Pearl Harbor and actually were able to shoot down a few planes and severely damage others. And, you know, it was amazing what these planes were capable of because, I mean, think about it. I mean, just look at it. It's very low tech. You could say, I mean, it's low tech by nowadays standards, but this was like the best. So I give props to the United States for making this. Come on, break it, break. I'm gonna shoot my guns to slow down even more. There we go. Fighter pilot trick right there. Learned in like realistic battles that if you want to like stop, just fire the machine guns and it'll slow you down. Either way, guys, that was a quick look at this way. Let's jump straight into a historical battle. Well, guys, it did not go so well. I I tried the realistic battle. It did not go so well. So I'm back in the hangar. It's kind of late at night. It's a school day, so I'm not gonna like keep trying over and over again. But let's just say it didn't go so well, and so I won't be bringing a realistic battle right now because I suck at realistic battles. But this will not be the last time you see the P-40E Kitty Hawk. I will be using it later in some of my arcade battles when I play with Itzgreenfire Boomerang, useful, and other people such as that. So, without further ado, thank you guys for watching this history lesson with APT, and next week's video should be either the Spitfire or the Jug, the D47 D25. Did you say I mean P-47 D25 Thunderbolt or the Jug. So let me just do this real quick. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe, and don't forget to also leave a comment on what you think I should do next for my YouTube video as far as planes, tanks, warships goes, anything like that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.